'Cause I am yours and you are mine. 'Cause I am yours, you are mine. You are mine.
Dearly beloved in Jesus Christ, practice what you preach, if not, change your speech. Today's gospel passage narrates about a story of two sons of the same father. One, though initially denies but later obeys, and the second one, though initially obeys, later denies. This tells about two kinds of people living in this world. First, people who profess their faith very well but don't practice. Second, whose practice is far better than their profession of faith. Therefore, we will be speaking about two kinds of Christians in the church. The first, professing Christians, and the second, practicing Christians. The first group, in simple terms, is baptized Christians who are regular for their mass, their pious activities, their novenas, but still they lag far behind in their practical application of the faith. They make great protestations of their faith and piety. They promise anything, but they lag far behind in practical life. Jesus refers to this kind of people when he criticizes Pharisees in Matthew 24:3, saying, "They preach, but they don't even lift up their little finger to ease the burden of the other." Saint James puts with beautiful example to describe this kind of people. If you meet one person who is very hungry, and you tell him, "Go in peace, keep yourself warm and be filled," but you yourself don't do anything for his physical needs. And what is the use of telling this? And how does this man benefit from it? In gist, these are pious Christians who are regular for their prayers but lack in the practice of their faith. The second group, in simple terms, are those Christians who neglect completely prayer and faith, but they are very good at doing Christian charitable works. They sound to be hard-hearted and hardcore materialists in the world, but somehow they are found out to be doing generous and kindly activities to the others when the time requires. They say and they profess that they have no interest in the church and they are not at all interested in the religion. But when time requires, we find that these are the people doing much more good to the people than those who profess their faith. In gist, these are the people who, the other extreme end, and they completely negate their faith and prayer but concentrate on Christian charitable works only. But dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, in today's fast-moving world and the contemporary church, we need a third kind of Christians who are both professing their faith at the same time practicing that faith that they have professed. In the gospel of today, we are told the father is not happy with any of the sons because both lacked something in their life. Similarly, church is never content with just professing Christians or even never happy with only practicing Christians. Church needs practicing and professing Christians to make it a wholesome and a beautiful church. Dear brothers and sisters, Christianity demonstrated is more felt than Christianity preached. Therefore, we have to demonstrate our faith in our Christian charity and show to the world with our pious activities. Once there was an old man on a particular day. This old man was taking an young man in his boat as a passenger. The young man noticed on one of the oars of the boat it was written prayer, and the other oar it was written work. Then the young man mocked the old man, saying, "Oh old man, you are out of date. Who needs prayer if he or she can work very well for his living? Who prays if he is capable of doing everything that he wants to have in his life?" To this simple old man did not give any answer, but he let go the oar on which prayer was written, and he started rowing with a single oar. He rowed and rowed, but they turned around and round in the same place, not making progress in their journey. Then after some time, the young man realized and understood. Apart from the oar of the work, they need the oar of the prayer also to proceed ahead in their journey. Similarly, church needs people, those who work as well as those who pray. Therefore, every Christian and every individual of the church has the responsibility to pray as well as to do charitable works for the church. Therefore, one can never compromise himself saying, "I'll be only a practicing Christian." Neither one can say, "I'll be only a Christian who prays for the growth of the church." Because every Christian is an ambassador of the church who have to pray as well as work for the growth of the church, for the growth of the humanity. But dearly beloved in Jesus Christ, according to me, majority of the Christians does not come under any of the three categories that is mentioned. Some of us will not be in the first category because we don't have a convincing faith. And some of us will not be in the second category because we don't do any commendable Christian charitable works. And some of us, we don't come to third category because we don't have both of these to some extent. Therefore, majority of us fall into a fourth category that can be simply grouped into lethargic Christians. These lethargic Christians, they don't do anything for being a Christian, but they just survive as Christians. Otherwise, we can call them namesake Christians. As for me, dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, these kinds of Christians are not eligible themselves to be called a Christian, because every Christian has to imitate Christ, who gave importance both for prayer as well as for work. Therefore, to make a church a wholesome church, to make a humanity wholesome humanity with a prosperity and love existing, we need to have people praying as well as people working. Dear brothers and sisters, here I remind you, these two qualities are to be present in a single individual. Hence, nobody can escape saying, "I'll be any one of them," but everybody has to be both. So, today's gospel passage is an eye-opener for all those who say, "My work is my prayer," and also an eye-opener for those who say, "My faith alone can save me." Therefore, dear brothers and sisters, through today's gospel, let us understand, reflect and see, do I become only a Christian who prays, or am I a Christian only who goes for the charitable works, or am I the true Christian having both prayer and work in my lives? And if we don't have this quality, let us ask God for this grace and strive hard so that we can become a convincing Christian with a convincing faith, and also charitable works that we can do for the growth of the society in which we live, for the growth of the church in which we profess our faith. Let God bless us all.